there's almost been a bit of a running theme with the podcast where it's kind of like a juxtaposition of AAU and high school.
Yeah.
So you've actually done both. Like you've coached at the high school level.
Yeah.
You've coached at the at AAU at the highest level. Wayne, same difference.
Yeah.
You've coached high school. You've coached AAU. What are some stark differences when running a program at the AAU and the high school level that you think is probably like something that's noteworthy? I guess we'll start with that.
The restrictions, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like high school sometimes strip you of trying to be who you are. And when it gets to that point, I can't rock with it. That's why I haven't done public school yet. Like you can't tell me if I want to go out here and a kid is down on their luck and I can't spend my money on them to make sure they straight. That's against my religion. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I think if somebody need help, I'm going to help them.
Why not?
Why not? That's why God put me in this position.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one of the reasons that kept, because it's so much eyes on you. You know what I'm saying? And one false move is infraction on what it is, and then now your whole team gets suspended.
Fined, and you talking about
right? So if I'm coaching public school, we're gonna be suspended a lot. You know, because I'm gonna do what I want to do because I think that I should be able to, man. You can't tell me that you some type of leader or some type of person that is out here to help people and don't help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everybody need help, but it's some kids in some situations, man, that you got to be able to dig out that hole and save them.
Yeah.
And that's what AAU allow you to do sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like AAU allow you to continue to be you, do what you want to do for them. They can come stay with you because you're dealing with kids that need help sometimes.
Yeah.
Man. And I think that piece get missing. But high school, man, I don't know. It's tricky. That's why I stay away from it.
Nah, I mean, it's a real big difference between the high school, the AAU, and everything like that. Because more than anything, like you say, it's the restrictions. But AAU gives you a freedom. You know what I mean? And when I say what a freedom is, it's more so like you can put together what you need to put together to benefit each of them.
Yep.
To where like high school, you're limited to where your pool of who's at that school, which may not be the best pool. So competitively, you're kind of crushed at times, which I know someone be like, well, that comes in your development of kids. Yeah, that's true. But it's also a certain mentality that comes with kids that play AAU, especially on the elite level.
Yeah.
You're not dealing with a kid that you have to fight to want to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
But with high school, you know, in school period, you're dealing with kids that may just play the games to be there. You know what I mean? To where AAU, the investment of knowing that I'm here for a reason. I'm here to be seen. I'm here to get better. I'm here to get to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, in high school, you may not have that. You may have 4 kids on the whole team of 10 that really want to play college basketball or be a student athlete past high school. You know what I mean? And you got more than that, then you're really, you know, in good terms as a coach. But for the most part, if you're not a North Mecca, Chambers, or West Charlotte, or some of these schools that just people want to gravitate to, you're going to have maybe only 2 or 3 kids that really want to go to school. So your practices are not competitive. Your environment is not competitive to where a kid is feeling it every day like, oh, yeah, nah, this nigga he got called from John Lucas. I got to turn up.
Yeah.
Like AAU, you talking about it's the elite of the elite, as I said before, and that's what it used to be. You know, historically, we talking about in Charlotte, it was only 3 teams. You didn't make either one of them 3 teams. You played church ball, you played rec ball. See you next year.
Yeah, it ain't like that no more.
Nah. Shit, I get cut from your team, Ed. I'm gonna go start 3 more teams, goddamn, for real. And I'm gonna take 2 of your players because they my son's best friend.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus like, well, you really had you really got the best of the best at one point in time. Now it's a blessing and a curse.
It's a blessing and a curse for sure. It's all watered down though.
It's all watered down. You know what I mean? Because there's no way where, and we I think we can go ahead and take it there to where it shouldn't be 2 or 4 powerhouses in our area that should be competing.
Yeah.
One on this, one on that, one on that, one on that. And that should be the standard to where, as a high school coach, hey, bro, if you ain't making one of them teams What's up?
Yeah.
You know, right now it's like, nah, you can go play with mom and pop. You can go play with uncle and them. You can go play with little cousin and them. And, you know.
Yeah. Everybody playing without a purpose, man.
That part.
It just coming back down to, you know, I think the generation that we in right now, sometimes, I mean, I know we got to adapt to it, right? But it just.
Do we?
Well, we don't. We don't have to adapt to it. I don't adapt to it, right? But I'm just speaking hypothetically about people.
Yeah, for sure.
I just believe in what I believe in. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't making one of these teams, it's really letting you know that you really ain't who you think you are.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities out here, right? And I think it's too many opportunities to make people think that you can get to where you got to go. But you can't get to where you got to go if you ain't that person, or you're not pouring into yourself, or your purpose ain't right.
Man, that's such a gem. It's a lot of opportunities out here that make people think that they can get where they think they want to go.
Yeah.
Like it's a false illusion of hope.
Yeah.
So it sounded like you said restrictions, competitiveness. Is there anything else that you would say between high school and AAU program wise that are just things to note?
Well, I mean, you're limited as far as your scope of who you can compete against as well.
Okay.
Like, I mean, so unless I have that player, I can't, in a sense, schedule an OK, or I can't schedule an IMG if I ain't got a 5-star or 4-star. You know what I mean? So where I would want to put my kids in the position to go in AAU, I can go travel to like I say, DMV and go catch some smoke. I can travel to Georgia. I can travel to Florida, Dallas, or New York, or Tennessee, or Ohio, and go find some smoke. Versus where in high school I'm limited, especially if I don't have that name.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of limited to really exposing my players to an environment that they've never seen before, and also eliminating a false sense of security that you're the best because you're good where you're at. You know what I mean? So I think that would be something else to add as far as a reason why I feel like AAU is a little bit more freer, a little bit more appetizing, you know what I mean, versus the high school scene, to where a player can really do more on the scene, and a coach can do more on the scene as well. Especially when we talking about doing something from a player. Like, we've had players we know they ain't play high school and come out and get a scholarship offer based off AAU. And we've seen the vice versa as well. You know what I mean? We're not going to say that we didn't see the vice versa, but we've really seen where it was more unconventional, that no high school stats, but motherfucker average got them 25 in AAU.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, that's the reason why I went private.
Yeah.
Because I knew that you can recruit, and I wanted to give my kids an opportunity to get a better education. All the stigmas that was written for inner city kids, I want to kind of change the narrative without breaking the pocket, right? I knew that I could create my own schedule to make it competitive, and it's easy to sell. It's a recruitment process. Like, okay,
for sure,
we can play this person, play that person, and then it made us better in the conference, and because we playing the smoke. I just believe in, again, environments. Put me in the best one.
Yeah.
Let me figure it out from there.
All right, so I got just one question. This will kind of just piggyback off of that, and then we'll kind of continue walking down the line. So, are we going to see Ed Cook on a high school sideline again?
Maybe.
I know the offers are coming. Like, it's a choice.
Yeah.
So
they come. But yeah.
Like, if just speaking from like what you want to do, I know we know you acted from the babies, all the way up to like the EYBL level. Will Ed Cook find himself on the high school sideline again? So wait, let me answer this.
Yeah, I know, because I really
he running interference.
No, I ain't gonna run interference, but I have a good question, and we might have to edit this out because we can't. But I want to hear just what the fuck happened with the Harden job. Straight like that.
You knew about the Harden job?
Hell yeah. Come on. That's why I say we might have to edit this out, but shit, this is good content if we can use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so let's use it.
Okay. All right.
So the Harden job was pretty much my job. Harden was one of the situations that I kind of wanted to tap into.
Yeah.
Just because it's my alma mater.
Of course.
It's on my side.
Perfect.
And I wanted to build it up.
Yeah.
And then I had the interview process. The AD told me it was a green light.
Okay.
The principal was liking me. They had a new principal. I forgot her name. So that weekend, right after I had the interview, I had went to Memphis. It was session 1.
Okay.
And we had an early game, like at 4:30, which is 5:30 here.
Yeah.
And then she had called. So she wanted to call for her to officially offer me the job.
Gotcha.
And I didn't answer. So she left a message. But at the time she left the message, it was probably like 7:30 Memphis Central Time, which is 8:30 here.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to call back out of respect. Right. So the next morning I was like, well, I'm gonna give her a call, but you talking about this Saturday. So I hit the AD and was like, listen, she called me, let her know I'll call her back. She didn't like that. I was talking through him instead of her. So come Monday, I get back home and business picked back up. Then the next thing I know, I get a posting that they gave the job to somebody else. So that's how that worked. Which didn't make me feel no type of way.
Yeah.
It just one thing about me, man, like
That's crazy.
You gonna know, like I just believe things gonna work how it's gonna work, right?
Yeah.
Because
I already know
it's coming back full circle.
That's what I said. It was that story, but I want to hear his story.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
So I didn't heard, like, I know people hear a lot, right? I'm just one of them people, man. If you want to know, ask.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you.
That's such a.
Listen, but that's exactly what happened.
No, because I mean,
like, shout out to the guy that's over there.
Yeah. Shout out to him. I think he trying hard.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying, Wayne? He trying hard, you.
Hey, he's put together a good staff.
This is what I would. Well, yeah, I would say that he has put some minds behind him. What I will say is that Harden, obviously, you could speak to anybody inside the coaching world from here, Charlotte, all the way up and down the East Coast to the West. That's a missed opportunity. Good Lord, off of it. That's crazy.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, when that happened, man, and being the fact that,
and then you got a whole feeder. It just would have lined itself up.
It was kind of weird. So like in the interview, that's what I'm telling them because they asking me this.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, of course, I mean, they're aware of who you are.
Yeah, and they asking for a reason, right? Like, well, we know you would tell us about it, so I'm telling y'all about it, and they was intrigued by that, and I'm like, letting them know as long as you got the seeding, I can get the kids because they're a magnet program.
Yeah,
right. I then, you know, I have to go to these games now because you're in the same conference as my son, and so now I'm on my dad mode, and I think the kind of disturbing part about it with me is I'm hearing things while I'm trying to watch my baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm chill. I let it go off.
Yeah.
But
ain't nothing you can do about it.
Ain't nothing I can do about it because honestly, you know, again, it was a blessing for me because it still gave me a chance to kind of, my business was growing even more.
Yeah.
I had kind of, you know, Team United was on my back. So I'm carrying that. It just wasn't my time. I look at it. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame nothing on nobody.
Nah,
that ain't me. I'm accountable.
What's for you is for you.
For me. And when my time is ready,
it's gonna ready, come. So,
but as far as me getting back, man, I mean, I'm getting phone calls. Every day.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a few things.
Out there right now. To be honest with you, though, man.
So you thinking like perfect situation? It just got to make sense.
It ain't even got to be perfect.
Okay.
I don't believe in that. I just think it got to be
ordained.
I believe in that.
Yeah.
I don't think nothing in life perfect for me. I just think whatever the man got for me is gonna happen.
Yeah.
He understand me. We have a conversation every night about what's next.
Yeah.
Me and him. So I'm a competitor too. So I kind of want to challenge myself.
Yeah.
So like I then went and did the private school thing. The next phase is kind of people like, well, you want to do it at public? I don't got really nothing else to prove on that phase of it. I'm thinking about the girl thing.
Did you win at Corcoran too?
You want to hear about the Corvin thing too?
You know me.
Let's talk about
Wayne.
it.
Wayne know all.
Let's talk
behind
about
the
it.
scenes. Wayne.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
We gotta call him behind the scenes.
my guy, man.
My dog right there.
So the Corbin thing kind of happened like the Harden thing.
Okay.
Corbin was the initial job that I was supposed to take. The Corbin job.
Yeah.
Right.
This was real in the 9th grade year.
Right. So Corbin came about. I interviewed it. And she offered me the job, but the AD was late giving me my paperwork to sign for my money.
Yeah.
So then, as that happened, I'm waiting on the paperwork. At the time, the Northside AD came to my gym. And so he walked in the gym and he was like, he asked me my name. I told him my name. He's like, I'm such and such from Northside. I was like, okay. Me being me, I'm like, well, what's up? And so he was like, I was told to come over to meet with you, see what you had going on. He offered me the job just off of training. So he was like, I heard a lot about you, and he bought into the grassroots and the kids because he understood what was going on.
Understood that process.
And so I was like, oh, that's intriguing because at Corbin, you couldn't do what you could do at Northside. Getting kids in and stuff. Like you had to go through the lottery and all that stuff. So
there's a lottery for the charter,
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this might be the move.
Gotcha.
So that paperwork came back faster than that paperwork.
Hey, listen. It is a game.
Nah, it's crazy because like Q says, like, damn, look inside, but like, nah, bro. Well, people don't know, like, brother done been around. You know what I mean? Like, he done been around. Like, I always had this funny story the first time I met you, and I don't even know if you remember this shit. So we had our son's flag football game inside of Arbor Glen.
I do remember.
It get a little ratchet.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm 10 toes down against everybody.
Everybody.
I just heard a voice say, hey, don't even worry about me. I got you.
I remember that.
I turned. It was Ed Cook right there. Like, hey, nigga, don't even worry about it. You good.
And ever since then, boy, we've been tapped in.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And in tune with each other, man.
Yeah.
And I respect what's real.
Nah, for sure. Nah. And that's why we had to have you on here, bro. You know what I mean? Outside of all that, you know what I mean? You one of the real ones, bro. And it's good to have a good basketball mind, a guy that didn't do it conventionally. Like you say, this is something that comes from a higher power.
That's it.
This wasn't something you walked into just by saying, I'm going to do it. It was like, nah, it was something that you was ordained to do. Mm-hmm. And just to see that journey, you know what I mean, from back then where, you were just a dad, coming to the flag football games to, oh, this nigga got an organization.
Yeah.
Oh, he got 30. He got 3 teams per age group.
Yeah. Hey,
he ain't let none of them babies go to waste.
I ain't let none of them go
All
to
them
waste.
babies got something to do. I don't care if they playing Carolina courts every weekend. Hey, we got something for them.
People didn't understand how it happened, right? Because they just didn't know the journey. They don't. Let me say this, man. I get a lot of like backlash about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
People say a lot of things about me, but what they don't tell you is how much I help.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, they only want to talk about your faults, and
that's cool, right?
And I experienced the same thing myself.
Yeah.
You're known for your negatives versus your positives.
Yeah, but even on that, right? It's a negative on what they think is negative.
Oh, for sure.
It ain't really a negative. It's just because I don't do it the way they want me to do it.
Yeah,
that ain't negative to me.
Nah.
It's me being me, right? So at the end of the day, I know what come with this, because again, I didn't have that conversation before I got into this. Listen, I'm gonna send you down here, and I'm gonna make this is the mission that I want you to accomplish.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a lot to come with it, but I believe that you can handle it. So I handle it, and I went through stages of growing up.
Yeah, to
get to this point that I'm at right now. That, I mean, I done been cool and all right over the years, right?
Yeah,
but I'm at my best right now. So we ain't let nothing stop us. We killing everything moving.
That's how I'm supposed to feel, bro.
That's how it is.
And I think, as men, I think we all strive to get to a point in our life that we feel that way. You know what I mean?
And I'm there.
Yeah. And it takes time though. You know what I mean?
Time.
And it's the due diligence of the process. I know we're kind of veering off, but this is a message just for our young men that do tap into us. It's like just hearing that journey by itself is understanding, like, I may take a left, may take a right, may take a fall, but it's the due diligence of the process that you got to endure to get there. You know what I mean? Like they said, weep a man and do it for the night, but joy come in the morning.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like,
and if you don't go through nothing, then you're not gonna appreciate nothing.
You're not gonna appreciate nothing.
A little adversity ain't hurt nobody.
Nah, it never.
It builds you. It builds you.
A little fall, a little scrape, a little boo boo ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Yeah,
man. So
that's definitely something that and I guess this is somewhere where I can like share a piece of like my journey. So I think that probably one of the regrets that I would say inside like my journey with my son would be, so it was a time where he was with Ed, and I think that I pulled the trigger really quick, and it was, I wouldn't even use the word adversity. I just think that it was a lot of moving parts, and some things don't always seem as though they seem.
Right.
But in that hindsight, I'm like, damn, he was with Ed. If I could have just left him in there for, even if it was just a year, 2 years, whatever that would have been.
Yeah.
That's something that I'd be like, damn, that's a misstep. Where even in that, still building to the point where y'all was at, I think across the board, and even right now, like this season with my son, he had to endure some adversity. You know what I mean? Like this wasn't a season where like he was put in a position where anything was going to be handed to him. And people like, people gonna hit your line and be like, damn, what about this? My response is like, it's good for him to go through a little adversity.
Oh yeah.
Like right now, you got to figure out how to work for something, earn something, and build towards something. And understand that the way life works, if you a grown man, an adult, nothing's gonna be handed to you.
Yeah, but so the regret, it wasn't no regret that you should have, because you learned from that situation to be prepared for this situation.
Yeah,
right.
You only have regrets when you don't learn.
Yeah,
that's right.
Well. So, and I remember that situation. And for me, I'm a parent,
and you get it.
I get it.
You get it.
People be like, "Oh, I don't get mad about people leaving." Because I understand.
I'm the same way.
Sometimes
I've always been that way.
Yeah, sometimes it just don't work at that moment.
Yeah.
But I'm also one of those guys that I don't really close my door, because again, I understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, man. Like,
hey, don't you hate when mother be like, damn, why you let the mother come back?
Yeah, because
what you mean, bro?
Because I love him.
Like once he's mine,
it's mine.
He's mine, bro. Yeah, like pause. You know what I mean? Like they say, but like once that, bro.
That's just me, bro. I let anybody, like, unless you cross, if you don't cross me crazy, you're gonna always have an opportunity.
And it ain't gonna be the kids, it'll be the parents anyway. But the kids love you, bro. Like they show love all the time. Like it was so funny. The boys they played one team, and then the other teams out there. So when the little kid sent me dapper, he was like, "Hold on, he the ops." I was like,
"Ain't no ops.
Nah,
we
bro,
all family."
That's my guy right there.
Yeah.
He was like, "Nah, that's Coach Wayne, bro." Like, "Nah, that's my dog right there." The little dude was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. But it's like we put our imprints on the game and on kids that, forever.
Yep.
Forever. No matter who you go to right now, where you at now, it's like, bro, I'm always rooting for you.
Yeah.
You can always call me.
Yeah.
Because I was always that guy like, shit. My crib was the crib.
Yeah.
I pull up in the Altima, goddamn 5 deep. I got the whole starting 5 in the car.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Because that's what we do.
That's the life, man.
That's the life, bro. Like, I've had my cousin be like, bro, why are you picking up kid, ain't it? I say, bro,
man,
I can't not put the kid up.
All right, fellas. So we'll kind of stay where we're at. High school versus AAU. I know that we've talked programs and just differences between coaching at a high school and an AAU level. So I know maybe it skews a little bit in the room, but I still love for y'all to speak through your experiences. Impact on recruitment when it comes down to the AAU versus high school. Again, we know like in recent years, they've made a lot of pushes towards making sure that high school coaches are involved in like the high school recruitment. Again, this could possibly throw back to the JUCO question as well. But just through your experience, what has been more effective when it's come down to recruitment for a kid and actually placing them into college? High school, AAU.
The political answer is doing it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a political answer, right?
Political.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a better situation if the high school coach is on the same page as the AAU coach. But 98% of that is never going to happen, right?
All right, here we go.
So the recruitment piece really comes from the AAU side of things because of the relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, the college coaches want to go to the person that knows the kid, knows the family, and is consistent with them. You know what I'm saying? Even though it be a turnover ratio that's kind of big in AAU game nowadays, you still the person though. If you mess with kids and they recruit a kid, they gonna come to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like for a situation like I have a kid right now that's at Nebraska.
Is that Jawan?
Jawan.
Yeah.
Everybody come to me. And he got other coaches that he done been through.
Yeah.
But they come talk to me about everything with that kid, right? And then it's more personable, man. You know what I'm saying? With the high school thing, it's just that's their job. So they supposed to do it.
Yeah. But
I would say don't even do it though.
But I would say this right here though. Excuse me. As far as the high school level though, I think it's pivotal for them as well because they're the ones day to day. They're the ones that can pull the grades, can manage what's going on with that part. You know, I think AAU as a coach, you don't really have that imprint on that part of things. You can market a kid, you can form the relationships, but as a high school coach being day to day, I can make sure he's in the right class.
Yeah,
that teacher ain't doing right by him. I can
You're right.
Kind of manage that part. I can make sure that my counselor is making sure they're in compliance with NCAA. I can make sure that clearinghouse is on point. You know what I mean? So I feel like you say before,
got to be together. Bro.
It should be more of a tandem, more so than against.
More powerful together.
You know what I mean? But I feel like with so much emphasis been placed on travel ball, AAU, whatever you may say, it makes the high school coaches feel a certain type of way. And it's like, well, you know, I'm day to day, I manage this part, but they're running to this, you know, person here where it should be more so like, I feel like back in the day, you know, my AAU coach would call my high school coach. They'll be in conversations of, in a sense, okay, Wayne's playing for you. I want to see this from him. And as an AAU coach, well, you know, as I get, you know, interest, I'm going to forward it to you so you can, you know, manage the other part of making sure he's promoted in a way academically. Yeah. So I feel like it goes hand in hand though, but
it need to be together, bro.
No, because it's too much separation on that. You know, I feel like, and that's been more so, I say recent, I'm saying recent more so the last 5 to 10 years, because, you know, coming up in our time, of course, it was no social media to kind of circumvent the process. You had to literally go to the Bob Givens. You had to go to the 5-star camps or just be that guy, you know, or be word of mouth. So, but now with social media, you know, you have a 40-point game against goddamn bumfuck. Next thing you know, you got them 5-star.
You own.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, he the next up.
You own.
But they ain't realize they play goddamn Lil Johnny and them. They just put the team together just to go play some basketball on Saturday.
Yeah, for sure.